Welcome back to Grow Joyfully. We are going to have another tomato taste test today. Today we have 7 tomatoes, and if it looks like I've written on the top, I have. It's because I'm trying to keep them straight so I can save seeds and know which ones that I'm tasting when I'm tasting it. We've got the Golden Jubilee, the Dr. Wyche's, Sheboygan, that's a new one this year, Granny Cantrell, Tiffen Mennonite, German Pink, isn't that a beauty? And the Giant Crimson. So, let's get started. I've made 3 loaves of bread and I'm making another pot full of spaghetti and pizza sauce today. Then I need to go out to the pasture garden and do some more harvesting. So let's just start with the Sheboygan. It is a paste tomato, as you can see by its shape. Not that they're all shaped this way, paste tomatoes. It's more like a Hungarian heart or a pink ox heart or what have you. So sometimes these paste tomatoes do have great taste and they're just as good for putting on a sandwich, eating in a salad, anything like that. Anything that you'd use a slicer or a saladette size for. So I'm going to take off this. And what I don't use right here, I'm going to put in the pot where I'm making spaghetti and pizza sauce. I've had a lot of this green, crunchy, whatever on a lot of my tomato shoulders this year, as you can see. If you have any idea what that is, please put it down in the comment section below. Okay, and let's cut this off. That's why I use a serrated knife. Easier to cut tomatoes, in my opinion. Cut off a thin slice. We'll get the necessary salt shaker. That's good. It's like a deep, rich tomato flavor, just your typical classic tomato. And the reason they're called paste tomatoes is because they have usually fewer little cells or pockets for seed and juice. There's the seeds there. And I am going to be saving seed from these. So, time out while I go and get the little containers. I'm doing double duty today, and I'm saving seeds from these 7. I not only get into the season where I can and freeze and dehydrate things, but also save seeds from what I can, especially my tomatoes. So I've got little containers, and I will put seeds from the Sheboygan, by the way. That was so good, it deserves another taste. This is a taste of summer and tomatoes, and it's incredible. So, excuse me for speaking with my mouth full of deliciousness. I just clear the seeds out from the little cavities or cells. Might cut that one in half to get to them better. Gets to be a messy job. I wash my hands so many times in the summer. I mean, I wash them a lot as it is. But I'm constantly washing Okay, we'll get this one. Because I'm saving seeds, I'm going to have to wash the cutting board off in between each tomato, so I don't cross them. Not that it's going to hurt anything. A tomato is a tomato. If you get some Sheboygan in with Dr. Wyche's, some seeds, you'll still get that plant. It's only when they cross-pollinate that you get a mixed hybrid. And unless you continue to grow that mixed hybrid and grow it successfully, the same variety, for, oh boy, I don't know how many years it takes to stabilize it, then you just get all sorts of interesting things. But I'm not worried about that because a tomato is a tomato. And that's how a lot of the breeders come up with their wonderful varieties. Okay, so there is the Sheboygan. And I let these set on the counter and ferment for about a day or two, maybe even 3. They get kind of stinky sometime by the time I get to them. And then I rinse the seeds off in a colander very thoroughly, then put them on a paper towel that's labeled and let them dry. Then I get paper envelope and label that with the year and the variety and put the seeds in it and seal it up, and then I have seeds for next year. Okay, the cutting board is clean and so are my hands. Time to go on to the Dr. Wyche's. It's a very lovely, dense tomato. And I was wrong the other day when I was showing you the yellow brandy wine, and I called it a gold medal. But no, the yellow brandy wine is very much like the Dr. Wyche's, and I think the Kellogg's breakfast, but I'll tell you, it's hard to keep it straight in my head. I do know now that the gold medal and Big Rainbow are very, very much alike, even more so than the pineapple. So I am just cutting this out. I cut the core out. There's the core, nice big core. Cut off the imperfections and look for a good side to slice. So here's a slice of Dr. Wyche's. Trying to keep everything in camera shot. Alrighty. Always so lovely and fresh. Fantastic tomato. Numerous. It doesn't have that deep, rich, classic tomato flavor. I mean, it tastes like a tomato, yes. But that deep, rich red, classic tomato flavor. It's a little more fruity, less acidic. We got to save those seeds. And don't let anybody tell you otherwise, but you can save seeds for years upon years. I know I keep promising you the story of the giant crimson. I promise I'll get on the stick. I just get so busy, and I have to do some research for that and be able to link the YouTube video that Luke Marion made on the giant crimson. So that takes a little time. Saving seeds takes time, but it saves you money and it's kind of fun. So don't be afraid to do it. Okay. One more piece of Dr. Wyche's. It was named, I believe, after a doctor, obviously, Dr. Wyche or Dr. Wyche. So he must have grown that, perfected it, and carried it along, and then somebody else got it. And they grew it, and they've just kept saving seed and growing it along down history. Okay, so another reason why I wash off the cutting board is because you can save the seeds from the cutting board, but not if you've, I don't like to save them anyway if you've mixed them up. One year, I didn't want to throw away all the seeds because I think I was making something. I don't know what I was doing. And they were just all in the big colander and all a big jumble, and I couldn't throw them away. I washed them, cleaned them, dried them, and I put miscellaneous tomato seeds. A seed is a seed. Okay, I just took the cinnamon rolls out. The bread is still baking, and it's time to go on to a granny cantrell. I've grown it for, I'm thinking this is about the 3rd year. And this year, they've turned out bigger than I've had in the last few years. So we'll take that off. We'll get a slice first. A lot of juice, a lot of seeds. Might as well get my little dish over here. Take the seeds out. It's fairly ripe, so it's a little bit floppy. Sometimes it takes a while for the flavor of a tomato to hit you. Some jump right out at you, right off the bat, like the Sheboygan did. This was a little bit longer, and this took even longer. It's very mild tasting, not so flavorful as the Sheboygan, but it's a nice tomato, and it'd make a lovely slicer for BLTs, in salads. Use them in your spaghetti sauce, your tomato sauce, your pizza sauce, salsa. I've been doing a lot of that lately. So yeah, it's a good tomato. Did it blow my socks off? No. Not completely, but this is a limited taste test. All taste tests are, because as I discussed the other day, the taste of a tomato can vary with the same variety from area to area in the garden, tomato to tomato. Okay, there's some nice seeds. Throw away the core. See the pretty seeds? You know, when tomato season is over, I'm so despondent because look at this. You pick these things up, you eat them in any way you want. They're just right at your fingertips. And it's sad when you don't have them. Okay, take a little more of that core off. Not going to hurt anything or anybody. I put big chunks of tomatoes and onion and dried basil and oregano and garlic in my tomato sauce, my pizza sauce actually, spaghetti sauce. And then I just cook it all down, and after it's cooked and I cool it, then I put it through my blender, and then I just put it through a mesh strainer. That's kind of how I do my sauce. I have one of those, I'm not sure what you call it, tomato sauce grinder thingies, but I find that it's so messy, it drives me crazy. Okay, there's Tiffen Mennonite. Time to clean up. It is so smoky today. and it was yesterday too. Really kind of scary. It's hard to go out there and talk and breathe and work in the garden. I find myself, as you can hear, I'm congested. Yeah, the fires have kicked back up where I grew up, about 75 miles from here. And then there's a huge one. I'm not sure how far away Stanley is, but yeah, a lot of stuff going on. So I think I was perhaps calling this Granny Cantrell at the end of the taste test of it. Anyway, I put it on the wrong one. I put it on Tiffen Mennonite, but it is Granny Cantrell. So now we have it back in the right place. And you can see why I would mark on things, because I can't remember. So, on with the taste test. This is a Tiffen Mennonite. And before I forget, I will just cut this part off. Save any seeds I can. And all this stuff does not get wasted. It either goes to the chickens or the compost, so never fear. Cut this stuff off. Does not get wasted. Cut out the core. If they have a big core, I like to cut them out. It's kind of hard to get a good cut since I took off some of the imperfections. Okay, so Tiffen Mennonite. It's about the same time that I've been growing Tiffen Mennonite as the Granny Cantrell. I think I discovered them both the same year. So, about 3 years, I think. That is good. That did knock my socks off. Very lovely. Very nice classic tomato flavor. Nice and rich. Not too horribly acidic. Very pretty. Take out the seeds. I just got the 3 loaves of bread out of the oven, and they smell so good. Okay. That is Tiffen Mennonite. Time to clean up the board. Every time I go wash the cutting board over by the sink, we have a window, 3 windows out there, and I can see the smoke settling in more and more. I do not like it. It's a great worry, let's just say that. This is a Golden Jubilee. I have grown the Golden Jubilee possibly 5 years, something like that. Got to get its little seed container. It's kind of a quiet plant, if there's such a thing. It's not big and showy. It just seems to do its job and be done. Last year it was a lot bigger and quite impressive, but this year not so much. Definitely a yellow tomato. Nice flavor. It doesn't exactly wow you, but it is, it's not disappointing at all. So yeah, that's a good one. A good trustable one. You know, if you had to choose between it and Dr. Wyche's or yellow brandywine, it would come in third. But it's a good, reliable tomato. Sometimes, instead of cutting these, I just squeeze them because they're going in the spaghetti pot anyway, the spaghetti sauce pot. Then it goes a little faster. Kind of gets a little tedious, saving seeds and going through every cell. Yeah, I took it out of there okay. Did a good job. Now I'm going to get these guys in here. If you think about it, and I do every time I have one tomato seed on my finger, on the table, on a knife, I think that one seed is a plant. You can get 2 to 5, maybe even 10 tomatoes, and that's a lot of food. All right, time to clean up the board again. Okay, 2 more tomatoes to test. I'm trying to keep a list of the tomatoes that I'm testing, taste testing, and I put it up so well that I can't find it. That's typical of me. My filing skills, bookkeeping skills, whatever, storing skills leave a lot to be desired, but that's okay. I'm gonna have to go back over it and write them down yet again so that I don't repeat tomatoes in a taste test. I'm saving this for last just because it's so exciting. This is the giant crimson. I have already saved seeds. I will be telling you the story of it from Luke Marion from M.I. Gardner. And it just emphasizes the importance of seed saving. Keeping these lovely varieties around from generation to generation. All right, let's give it a taste. It's very juicy. It's a lovely taste. It doesn't have that warmth. I know, can you use that word with tomatoes, warmth, that I tasted with the Sheboygan. But it is a classic, lovely taste, been around for a long time. So, I think that's a good tomato. A very basic tomato, doesn't blow my socks off in the flavor department. But we are going to save this thing. And I'm going to save all the ones that I can for me and for posterity. Okay, we have one more tomato. Got to get the giant crimson seeds in. Save all we can. And go wash off the board. Okay, I've been saving the best for last. I have never been disappointed in the German pink. I've probably grown up for at least 4 years. It's so fun to discover these incredible tomatoes. Last year I grew the old German and got my biggest tomato with it, 2.6 ounces, and it just produced incredibly. This year, it doesn't look like it's doing quite as well. It seems like each year, 1 or 2 specific tomato plants will just do so well in its production and the size of the fruits and everything. And the pink German looks like it's its year for it. Last year it was great too. So I think it's a great, all-purpose, reliable, one of those that just kind of almost makes you swoon. And yes, I swoon for tomatoes. Oh, that's beautiful. I'll put that in the compost. Not too much juice or seed. That would make an incredible BLT or on a tuna sandwich. Be really good on a tuna sandwich. And the taste does not disappoint. Again, the adjectives that come to my mind are happy and bright, light. I don't know if I'd go so far as to call it fruity, but maybe I would. I usually reserve that description for the yellow tomatoes. There's that word again in my head. 2 words. Happy and bright. You will not be disappointed growing the German pink. I highly recommend it. Let's get this guy's seeds. Cut off the top and the marking and the green shoulders. There's the core. Cut off some of these things here. My bowl's getting full. It's a good thing we're finished with the taste test. Okay, so we'll get some of these seeds saved. It's quite a dense tomato. It's quite nice. Here's the gel and the seeds in the cavity. Get that out. It's hiding in there. See if we can get some more. Doesn't it make you feel good to know that you're putting food away for your family? It doesn't matter what possible scenario could happen. Somebody loses their job, somebody gets sick, the supply chain is interrupted, on and on, which we won't delve into here. I don't know if you guys are picking up some of my feelings and belief about our world, our government, our current situation, but I think a lot of you that are dialed in are picking it up. You got to say a lot with saying very little, if you get my meaning. So we're getting a lot of seeds out of this guy. That'll be nice to have. That is so dense. Not many seeds in that. Let's go to this one. There we go. Very dense. Okay, that looks like that's just about it. I'll scrape the board off. I'm going to take these tomatoes and pop them in the big pot that I'm making sauce in and cook them down, try to make it thicker. I just have really been loving what I've been doing for my pizza sauce, using dried onion, basil, oregano, garlic, and I've been putting paprika in it for color and flavor. It's really, really gorgeous. Thank you for stopping in today and watching this taste test number 3. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you have a lovely day. I'm grateful that this video is lighter and happier than the one I just put out, but we have to go through those things too. So you have a lovely day. Enjoy your garden, enjoy your family, enjoy your loved ones, enjoy your life, and don't forget to do it joyfully. We'll see you next time. Thanks for stopping by.